Today, we've got JLJ.
NERDSoul.
Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. Today, we are on Rare Air, and I'm gonna talk to JLJ about something that he rarely talks about. I don't even know what it is. We're gonna get started in just a second, but before that, please introduce yourself for those that might not know.
You should know who I am, but if you don't, I'm James Lott Jr. I am an actor, writer, producer, director, poet.
And on.
And everything. Follow me at James Lott Jr. everywhere, and you'll know, it'll take you to where it needs to take you. I do all that stuff. Recording artist, author, did I say it already? Gardener, I do everything.
He does his thing, for real. So, what topic have you brought today?
Becoming a recording artist in your late 40s.
Ooh, okay. How has it been?
Beautiful, wonderful, amazing. It's surprising, eye-opening.
What has opened your eyes about it? Like, what did you, like, say if there's a certain perception you had and then and you're like, oh, you didn't really see it coming, I guess.
I'm an author and a poet first, a spoken word artist. So I always write these things, and if somebody told me you should turn one of these into a song, and I was like, I love music, of course, but I never ever thought I would want to be a songwriter or a singer or rapper or anything like that. But one of my heroes is Gil Scott-Heron. If you don't know who he is, look him up.
Yes, please, just Google it.
He's no longer with us, but he has some amazing, you probably know him from The Revolution will be televised, Message of the Model.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing,
yes. And he's just one of my idols. But for me, he said you should make it into a song, and I was like, how do you do that? So the surprising thing was, I had a producer who wanted to work with me, and we sat down in the studio, and it wasn't easy, but it was easier than I thought it would be to put a song together.
Okay. All right, okay. So you're on this journey, you're on this path. You're kind of like getting into the recording vein. What do you like most about it? Is it as cathartic as writing, like just a regular book? Or is it more fulfilling, or?
I love being in the studio. I love it. I was in the studio last night, and I created 2 songs yesterday. 2 songs. We did, me and my producers put 2 songs together for this project I'm working on. I have 3 albums out right now. 3 separate albums.
Dang. And they are?
Okay, so the first album is a collaboration with a group called Chog. It's called the 5-song EP.
Okay, 2.
The second one is my first solo album called Songs from My Inside Voice.
Okay, and 3.
My latest one is a collaboration with the North Inglewood Jazz Symphony Orchestra, and it's called Speaking with Strings.
Wow. See, that's...
So I have 3 separate albums out of 3 different types of music. One's with the orchestra and one's jazz. One is dance and hip hop and everything. And the other one is like a child's album. We have all these kind of bouncy dance numbers for kids. But the thing is, I love the process of trying to write a song, trying to put it together, hearing the first chords of it. Like my producer goes, I thought of something to go with your song. To match my voice to music, it's very fascinating.
That's cool.
And yeah.
All right, okay. So, any struggles?
Yes.
Like what? 'Cause I mean, you're like, do you think there's a difference between getting into it in your late 40s as opposed to, say, in your 20s?
Well, no one expects you to do anything. And also people think you're dead after 30.
There is especially let's go and say, especially in Black culture, there is a Black culture, and more so in hip hop culture, there's a very big ageism issue.
Shelf life. That's why I love Jay-Z and them, because he's my age and he's still putting out stuff.
Yeah, Jay-Z about 60 out there.
Okay, wait a minute. I said he's my age.
I'm just playing.
Excuse all y'all. I may be almost 50, but I know I look 25, 30 in certain lights. In the right light, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I like being brown. But no, it's completely this thing where people think after 30 you should just shrivel up. Aren't you retiring, James? I'm like, no, I'm not retiring. I'm just getting started.
It's like, guys out there, seriously, unless something crazy happens, you'll most likely end up living to say like 80, 90. So 30, imagine 30. That means you have like 60 more years.
Right.
Or say if you die in your 80s, you have 50 something. 50 years is a very long time. You're gonna have to do something.
Right.
So,
Right.
So,
And
don't spend it playing video games.
Okay.
Unless you're getting paid to play video games. And then play video games.
I was gonna say you saying that's crazy.
Yeah.
You saying that. I know his stuff. But here's the thing. For me, it was like the ageism thing is so funny because then also people think, well, James, you're older. You come out with something like, well, I did orchestra music, but they thought it'd be something like, something more age appropriate,
traditional.
Yeah, traditional. I'm like, no, I like dance music. I can still I can half twerk.
You still move.
I can still kind of move.
Don't sleep.
I can kind of.
Now, I will say that there's some music that I've heard older artists make and been like, I feel kind of young for what you do. So I will say, even I've been, a victim of that, or I've been a perpetrator of that, where I've been like, music's kind of young.
Well, what's also funny is some of our artists who have success the first time around and they kind of die down for a little bit. When they come back when they get older, some of that music you could hear, like Bobby Womack, before he passed, he put an album out that was so good that you could hear the 60 years in his voice in every song.
Okay.
He had good music. He had young musicians around him that made.
But you could hear that, kind of like that time, that experience. Okay.
And so we need to have variety in music because not everybody. We were all young once, so we know that experience. That's great. But when you get older, we have that.
You need somebody still recording that experience.
Yes. You just words right out of my mouth.
Cool.
Exactly.
Then in that case, I'll say this because one thing that I missed about music is that I feel like music on a mainstream level used to represent kind of like every day of the week. You had music that represented Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Now I feel like on a mainstream level, most of the music is just representing Saturday night. And we're kind of back into a disco type, not disco music, but that disco type vein.
Do that.
Where, disco type vein, where it's kind of like party, but there's nothing that really represents maybe the sorrows of life, or the struggles of life, or the joys of life outside of, like party and just like celebration, but more of the joys of life, like say, graduation or having a child or getting married or whatever that is, other things that aren't tied to specifically going to the club and or drug usage or something like that. So I think maybe it's a good thing with more people that are even older making music because it helps diversify that sound that we need.
So I have some songs that are straight. I wrote a song the other day called Game Hens. Okay, it's about game hens, folks. It's about the game, those little tiny chickens. I mean, so I can do a silly song. Yeah. A silly dance song. But then I have songs in my albums. I have one called I Need Someone to Watch Over Me, which I talk about being lonely. I have a song called I'm Black Every Day, talking about being a black man. I mean, I have songs.
Black, proud, and educated.
Educated, I am. Thank you very much. I have a lot of letters after my name. Look them up. Earned every single one and went in debt. But anyway. But it's just one of those things. It's like I have songs. I have one called I'm Living My Truth. And I have songs that have a good beat to them or good music, but there's a message in there. Yeah. And it's like, but I'm also telling you something from an older perspective, but anybody can relate to it.
Yeah. And I like that because sometimes you need that older perspective to be like, hey, look, this is kind of how you need to move or something like that, instead of the young leading the young or the blind leading the blind.
we are, I say, I'm part of the village mentality. We are all part of the same village. Sure. In the village, there are village elders, there are youth, people in between. I'm a village elder at this point, apparently. And I accept it fine. I'm 49 years old. I just had a birthday. I have no problem with that.
Oh, yeah.
I have no problem with that whatsoever. And people, when I say my age, people wince sometimes. Like,
really?
Why'd you say that? Why'd you say your age? I'm like, I have no problem. I'm 49 years old.
There's a weird thing, guys. We're in LA. You can see a little bit of the backdrop. Yes. We're in LA. There is a weird thing about growing up or because all right, I don't know if I can say this. So this is my show.
Say it. Sure, so.
There's out here, there's a lot of older women, but they are getting younger partners.
Yes.
And it does look strange sometimes.
Yes.
I'll leave it at that.
As there's a song out there that says she has new ass, same boobs. It's a popular song right now. One of the kids sings it.
Man.
But my thing is, for me, a lot of guys I know in the business will go, well, my internet age is this, and my real age is this.
Wow, my internet.
They have it separate. They have it separate. And so for me, I'm like, and for me, because I lost a brother a couple of years ago who didn't make it to this age. He was 47. He's 48. And so I'm very proud. I'm like, I made it to this age, And a lot of us black men, let's get a little real, aren't making it to this age either nowadays.
Yeah.
So I'm
yeah,
very proud to be, I don't get too political, I'm very proud to be at this age.
Yes.
And my music, going back to the music, my poetry and my music, my poetry book I put out last year was my second biggest seller of all time.
Wow.
People, white folks, black folks, men, they all relate because I was writing from my heart.
Yeah.
I wrote a year of my life.
Because there's things that we can all relate to
Yes.
as just the human experience.
I didn't censor myself, but it's like my age was in there, my blackness was in there, everything was in there. And I'm glad people could look at it and read it for what it was and what it is.
Cool.
So my music, I'm doing the same thing. I have some silly songs. I have a song called Honey Lamb. And it's a dance song. People love it. It was a big hit. But also, like I said, I have another song called I Just Want to Break Out, which I talk about trying to date and how hard it is being older and how that is. And
yeah, that's got
kind of
to.
stuff.
I will say this, as someone who's married, sort of recently married, like 2 years. So
As a lovely wife.
I do feel sorry for a lot of people out there in the game because I see the internet and I see what's going on between men and women, men and men,
Right,
women
it's
and women.
hard. It's hard.
It's tough out there.
It's tough out there.
It's tough.
It's tough out
is.
there.
It is.
Yes.
I do not envy anyone. I don't envy anyone under say like 30.
Yeah.
That's trying to date. It's going to be very hard to navigate
Yes.
finding someone who's just really about you.
Yes. It's just somebody who's not crazy. There's
True.
that too.
Yeah.
But for me, my music and stuff really reflects that because I'm really trying to write about the experience, about the human experience, and what does that mean for me at this age? What does it mean? Because I have people putting stuff on me.
Yeah.
Then I have society putting stuff on me.
Yeah.
Then I have my own stuff putting myself on me.
Like you look in the mirror and you put that on you.
Right, put that on. You're like, the gray hair is more prominent. I'm not coloring that, sorry.
See, I like my little grays coming in. I'm like,
I'm getting there now.
distinguished.
I'm getting distinguished. I earned every gray hair in here. Thank you, children and grandchildren. No, I love you. But yeah, also I'm a grandfather of 3. I'm a father and grandfather. And again, putting out music and hearing my grandchildren repeat my songs. That was a big.
Very cool.
It was very cool, and I'm doing all these collaborations right now. I found another guy named James I'm working with. We call ourselves J2, and we're working on some stuff together. And like I said, I was in the studio last night, and I just recorded a couple of songs. It just came out, just came to me. It's like divine intervention. It just comes to me. The surprising thing is, I didn't know I could actually make a career out of it. I'm not on the charts or anything,
but
I made enough money to take care of stuff.
Yeah, you don't have to be on the charts, guys, to make money. Like if you look in, this is more in hip hop, but there are a lot of guys selling tapes out the trunk that was doing very well. Because when you selling for like $10 a pop, and you ain't got to share that with no record label.
Nope.
After a while, that'll add up.
Yep.
So it's like there is money to make where you don't have to be, like #1 or top 5 Billboard or even top 100 Billboard.
Nope, you don't have to. That's what I found out because I got a royalty check one month, and it bought me a MacBook Pro. Let me tell you, look at the prices on it. I got the latest MacBook Pro, so look at the prices there.
All right, look, I gotta get your props on that.
I'm just saying, I'm not on the charts, but I got a new laptop.
You're doing a little something.
I got a new laptop.
Yeah, because them royalty checks. They come through.
Yes, they do.
I used to get a couple. back in the day.
Some are 10 cents, and then some are a nice suggestion.
Mine pretty much filled up the gas tank and took me to like the grocery store.
See, you gotta get groceries at some point.
So like, it's like a couple $100. It's like, oh, okay, cool. All right.
I always tell people when you have nothing, anything is good.
Yeah, definitely.
When you're at $0 in your bank account, then that's.
So, all right, I want to pivot to this then.
Yes.
What's your message to people that are like, well, I'm too short, I'm too tall, I'm too old, I'm too, like, do you feel like, hey, maybe you should find yourself first, or are you one of those people that's just like, throw it at the wall and ask questions later?
I'm somewhere in between. I'm like, do it.
Okay.
Cool. I mean, that's my message. I have on my social media, I'm a doer.
Yeah.
And you know this. Anybody who follows me knows this. I'm a doer. You should try to find yourself, but sometimes the art comes out of you while you're finding yourself.
Yeah. And then it's a good example of where you were at that time.
You got it.
Earlier this week, this won't be a while back when we released this.
Yes.
But we reviewed Low End Theory from A Tribe Called Quest. And that came out in like
yes.
91.
I was
and they were
22
so
years old.
young. They were so young.
were, yes.
And seeing the difference in the music and their voices and their sound at that time, as opposed to like their most recent album is very, and of course Fife passed, but you know, their most recent album is just such a different perspective. So, you know, that art can, and they say art therapy, that art can help you find yourself or figure out how you feel about certain things.
I've been playing electric relaxation recently. Speaking of
okay.
Another type of different album.
And it's funny because when we reviewed that album, I conflated a lot of songs between Low End Theory and Midnight Marauders.
There you go.
Because since they're semi-close to each other, I always thought there were songs on one that were on the other. And I was like, oh, that song's on Midnight Marauders. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought it was on this one.
And the one thing I also learned, I recorded, so I started doing this a year ago. So I was like 47, 48 when I started it. And my first song I put out a year ago was I Am Ready, my first song everywhere. And that became a minor hit. And then I recorded over 30 songs over the course of a year. When it was time to pick an album, my album came out in May. To pick an album, that was hard. Now I get why people have to take their time picking, because you want to create a mood.
Yeah.
You're putting out something that you said, it's you right now. What do you want to say? And the songs have to flow, maybe. You don't just throw all your songs together.
There's a lot of stuff that gets cut from albums that are good.
That's what happened to me. I have a lot of songs out there that are not released. And I was like, there was a really hard, that was the hardest process, was putting songs from my inside voice together as a cohesive album.
Yeah. Because when you're trying to make a specific statement, it's different from doing like a mixtape.
Yes.
And a lot of rappers do mixtapes now because they're easier. I'll say this, a lot of rappers are making mixtapes because they don't want to do the hard work of making an album.
Uh-oh.
I'll say that.
Shady.
Yeah, I said that. Because constructing an album is a lot harder than saying I'm gonna just throw out this mixtape.
Oh, it is harder.
It's just random songs all together. You know, they're all good songs, but there's no actual statement to this, you know, to this mixtape. It's just cool songs by artists. Instead of sitting down with a producer, figuring out what you want to say, how you want to say it, the soundscape of it, all of that stuff, that's a lot harder. Like when you look at, you know, your greatest artists, they'll be like, oh yeah, you know, this album might have like 12 songs or 10 songs or whatever, but we recorded 30.
Prince is a big fan. I'm a big fan of Prince. And he was known for that. For recording every day, and a lot of songs, there's a lot of songs out there.
Yeah, it's like we recorded like 100 songs.
Right, with him.
15 made it to the album.
Exactly. One album had like 9 songs on it, like back in the day. But I found for me, that was one of the hardest things, was actually, because I wanted to make a statement. And I wanted to say something with the songs from my inside voice. Basically, it was a play on words. And for folks who don't know, what I do is I'm not a rapper. I'm a spoken word artist who does music. Okay. I'm kind of like Gil Scott-Heron in that sense that he's called the Godfather of rap, but he wasn't rapping. They didn't call it back then. He was speaking. But he was using like talk
to infuse a message with music, which was then kind of, you know.
I do a little bit of singing here and there on the albums, but like Millie Jackson's another person that I'm a big fan of back in the 70s. She was a person who talked and kind of sang on stuff.
Okay.
If you know who she is, look her up. She's great. She has an album called Feeling Shitty. It's not her. Or Being Shitty. It's very funny. She has a famous song. It's called the FU song. It's a famous song. It's all she says. Set to an orchestra.
Wow.
So I want to do music that speaks to people. People like my voice apparently. So I try to use my voice, but I really try to find really good lyrics and really good music, or fun lyrics with really good music.
Okay.
So I want people to know that I'm not just this person who's always serious. As he knows, I'm a very silly person also. And there's another thing for age. Just because you get older doesn't mean you stop being silly or being funny. Come on, people.
Nah.
I'm a laugh till I die.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I try to, from people that follow me on Twitter and see like my gifts and stuff, I try to be as silly as possible. I can get very serious,
usually.
But I tend to try to be silly to keep the mood light because I know there's so much going on.
There is.
There's so much that goes on. So I guess to end this off, with the message, what's your overall message, or what is the overall message you want people to get from your music?
Good question. That's actually a very good question. I've never talked about this before. So that's why it's called Rare Air. I've never talked about this before in my life. I want people to listen to my music and have a good time. or think about something in their own lives, I'm always trying to get to the center of who I am.
Okay.
So my music kind of reflects that. I want everybody to get to the center of who they are too, no matter what the medium is or whatever. Hopefully my music, when you hear it, you smile, or you think, or you cry, or I hope you have an emotion when you hear my music, or some
Makes
level.
sense. Makes sense. Cool.
And buy it. Go out and buy it.
Yes, go get it. So, before we bounce, where can the lovely people find you and your music?
Yes. Well, of course, I'm James Lott Jr. You can follow me where all James Lott Jrs are on social media at James Lott Jr. So every platform, I'm James Lott Jr. It's very simple, did very simply.
Easy.
On SoundCloud, I'm James Lott Jr. All my music is there, and it links you to iTunes. You have an iTunes account, but I'm on iHeartRadio. I'm on Spotify. I'm on Pandora. I'm everywhere. I'm on Amazon. I'm on Google Play. So you can find my music anywhere and buy it and listen to it. But my SoundCloud page is James Lott Jr. Go there, and I'll get you to where you need to go.
Cool, guys. Well, this has been Rare Air. You know it's NERDSoul. Make sure you subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, follow this guy, listen to some music, have some fun. But, of course, until next time, this is us to you saying peace.